Welcome back to the Tiger Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for July 31st, 2022. This is the last news of July, and we have some pretty good stuff here. We've got some masterpiece news in the Transformers, and all kinds of different news in Transformers. We've got some G.I. Joe news to talk about, good and bad. We've got Super 7 news about how you could get the SDCC figures that they have there. If you want to order them, where they're at. We have a quick ramen toy update, some really good stuff coming from them, and some Star Wars stuff I haven't talked about, but it's time to talk about, so we're going to get all this and more coming up. Starting out, there's a lot of cool stuff going on at Show Z right now. There is the Dr. Wu Mechanic Toys MS-30 Amy RC, $37 in stock now. I'm going to be doing a review on this in the next few days, and it looks to be a very good figure. Also, the toy version colors of the Fans Toys FT16T Sovereign Galvatron is also in stock, $270 back in stock. Like I said that these things were sold out, but once they come in stock, fulfill all of the pre-orders, they're going to put some more back up for sale. Right now, go get it if you want it. There's also the Mo Show MU2 Incarnation Noble Class X Series #1 Mark Mecha. And this thing looks pretty cool. It comes with I see one gun with them. There's really no price on it. Pre-order is $1 down. Now, availability would be either fourth quarter of this year, first quarter of 2023. Still looks pretty cool. I still don't even know the size of this, but I figured it's pretty cool looking. So there's also the MS General 1/12 Raider of Shadow Rabbit model kit, and this thing is pretty cool. So 1/12, about 6 inches. You have to put it together yourself, and you will have to probably paint it. I don't know if it's going to come painted or not, but probably more pictures as this comes out. This is not going to be available until later this year or earlier next year. And then there's another one that's kind of it's called the MS General Zion, and this is a Centaur. I keep wanting to call this Mentor, whatever, but this is a Centaur, kind of a female. I don't know. They don't even have a prototype yet, just a kind of a concept picture, but still pretty cool, interesting stuff going on at Show Z. So we have some more pictures of the Takara version of Cliffjumper. Now, I'm going to show you some more pictures that make it seem like this really is officially Takara, and they're working towards some progress. I think they're trying to iron a bunch of stuff out to make this better than their Bumblebee, and that's what's taking them so long, possibly. Looking at this alt mode, it's transformed properly. It looks to fit better than A, earlier pictures of this Cliffjumper, and B, better than my Bumblebees. Here they're showing it with kind of the green color for prototyping, kind of those strange different colors that you would see. And you also get to see that it's made, the top's almost entirely clear plastic, which is scary and fragile. And of course, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing they did with Bumblebee. And a bot mode shot. So, I mean, I guess again, this could either be some stuff going on with Takara, or it could be a third-party company. I mean, we don't really know, but it's interesting that there's so much of this going on, and yet still no announcement. We got some cool pictures out of Animation Comic Game Hong Kong, and that's really cool that they've got a lot of stuff going on there. But we've seen this before, but I think it's a pretty good picture of the Victory Saber put together, and that is the Japanese packaging. Say what you want about Jetfire, Skyfire from Takara. I think this looks fantastic. At first I didn't, actually, when it was in grayscale, but now that it's painted up and then I'm comparing it to animation, it looks fantastic. So there's another picture coming up that looks good too. The Titan Metroplex, that's not really masterpiece, but it's big, and it's almost as big as the previous Metroplex, as you can see from this picture. Alright, so I want to show this next to the Commander class version of Skyfire Jetfire, and the thing about this is that side by side, this shows how close in scale versus your Fans Toys. Very close in scale. In fact, I think Fans Toys might be about 1/4 of an inch taller than this, just comparing it. I put mine side by side so I could look, but it looks really close to almost exact same size as the Fans Toys. Fans Toys, when people argue that's a little bit too tall. And I like to show off the little characters that come with this, and I was thinking they were a bit better painted than this, but they look more like raw plastic with some paint here and there. I don't know, but overall, still pretty cool little figures, and it's this close zoom in on something this small, we really don't see it that big. We will see it from a distance in a way, and it just won't, it'll probably look a whole lot better in hand. So we got more pictures of the Takara Masterpiece MPGO2 Getsui, which it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. It's the train. I do think this looks better than the Shuki overall in the bot mode. The train mode looks spot on like the other one, of course. We also saw the full figure combined for Raiden, and so with that, we get to kind of see exactly what it looks like, and comparing this to what Moon Studio did, I mean, everybody's going to be doing that. I think Moon Studio, taller, slender, sleeker. This is a little bit too short and wide, but I will say it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look horrible. It looks better than I thought it would. I mean, they were hiding behind the silhouette for so long that I was thinking it was going to look terrible, just absolutely terrible. This isn't terrible. It's just, I think that Moon Studio set the bar really high. More pictures of the MP56 Trailbreaker, and of course this is showing off all of the plastic parts. So many plastic parts that get painted over, and that's kind of their new process instead of popping windows in. So there's other ways that you could do this. I guess it's cheaper, more efficient, but it is scary because there's more breakage points that are going on with that. So that is a problem that is very frightening when it comes to, especially Takara, because we're still a little questionable about the QC and the quality and how well they'll hold up. And of course there are picture reveals. This, every time you see this exactly like this, then they come out with some high quality res pictures, high res pictures, very shortly after. So here we are with the movie Revenge of the Fallen, Starscream in the works. I thought we already got a Starscream, but I don't know what the subtle differences are between the different movies, and they changed them slightly. They did the same thing with Optimus Prime and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really know exactly what the differences are, but I just feel like we've already kind of been there, done that, and got a masterpiece movie, Starscream, right? We got more pictures of the BMW 08 and its Transarts version of Black Arachnia. Does look pretty good overall, and I was questioning, are they going Black Arachnia? Are they doing that other one? But they are doing Black Arachnia, and I'm sure they're doing a Tarantulas also, so it's pretty cool looking overall. You can still pre-order this already. You can already pre-order this on Show Z. I don't know if you qualify this as Masterpiece News, but what's Fans Toys been doing? What have they been doing? Well, this is coming soon, so I saw some picture somewhere saying it's coming soon. So Outback is next, so if you've got it pre-ordered, start looking for that. Flames Toys has a lot of stuff going on right now. So this Shockwave looks really cool. It's in their style, a bit stylized, but still very retro at the same time, with a very nice pelvic thrust. Good job there. Then we also have the Beast Megatron. So this is Beast Megatron. And so they're kind of getting into these Beast Wars figures, I guess. So that looks pretty cool too. Still grayscale. Don't know what it's probably going to be purple too. But it does look good, and definitely in their style and stylization, make it kind of a modern uptake. Flames Toys also showed off their Gilthor, which is a kind of a evil combination of Optimus Prime Megatron that was created in Japanese manga stories. So that's what that character is. So combination of the two. Pretty interesting, pretty cool. There is some grayscale photos on the right, and then of course what a colored rendition in the middle, kind of see what it's going to look like. I think the coolest thing this week with Flames Toys though is their RC with the color photos, actual prototypes, all that kind of stuff. So I think she's up for pre-order at places right now, but she does look fantastic. The thing about this is that RC is one of those characters that really, a standalone action figure that does not transform is perfect for her. So there's a handful of characters that really deserve standalone action figures. She's one of them, so that you can get the rear backpack looking just right, not ultra bulky, and have the figure look just right. Now this is going to be stylized, but still close enough that, hey, if you want this to be your masterpiece one, I think it's scaled properly to be in your masterpiece collection. I'm not 100% sure though, but you might want to double check that, but I think it would work. I mean, there's such a big range between the actual MMC, which looks great but it's kind of short, and Toy World that's taller, which I think is the right height but doesn't really have that's more like an action figure, the Toy World one, because the alt mode is not really an alt mode, to tell you the truth. But this is an outstanding action figure, highly articulated, pretty expensive. I'm not sure the price on this one either, but they showed the pictures, so I'm showing the pictures. Really exciting, a lot of fun. This RC, this is what RC deserves, is to be an action figure on your masterpiece shelf. And at that same Hong Kong Animation Comic Convention, there was a Flames Toys presentation. These pictures aren't as good, or you really can't get as good of a view of these. But the one thing is I just don't really remember seeing much about the prototype of the Megatron or even the Hound. So we saw renders, but I haven't seen prototypes of them yet either. So it's kind of cool seeing those. That Megatron actually looks really good. Less stylized, probably one of the least stylized figures I've ever seen Flame Toys make. I think that looks awesome. Speaking of Megatron, we've got 3-0 in the works here. Now, this is their MDLX line, so it's the smaller line. I think these are around $75. They range from like 50 to 75, I believe, the prices on them. That might be wrong on that, but still, looking at them, they do look fantastic. They have a high level of metallic paint to them, and that's one of the things I like the most. There's Bumblebee, Goldbug, Optimus Prime, and the Megatron. So this is Megatron being featured more or less for the first time. And look at the shine on that. Look at the reflectiveness of that sheen on that silver. That's pretty good. It's not like chromed or anything, but it still looks very, very good overall. I like how it looks. Now, this is another stylized take. Just like Flames toys, they're doing a stylized take. These don't transform. They're highly articulated, but looks good, though. I was actually surprised because this, I'm not in on the stylized takes, but this did kind of capture my interest because of the high level of paint and detail that goes in to these 3-0 figures. Now they're not cheap though, so and well, look at sign says sold out. Oh no. Yeah, it looks pretty cool overall. Since I don't have any Legends news, really not much going on in Legends this week that I found, but I do see some Hasbro Core Class Legends that are, this isn't even Legends. See, we always look at kind of Cosmos as a Legends figure, and this is going to be in a deluxe scale, but I think it would work on a Legends shelf. That's kind of the way I'm viewing it. But I want to say something about this Cosmos, is that it's pack 1 per case, and I'm hearing that down the road they're going to do full cases of Cosmos. Now, I haven't seen it concrete. It's kind of a rumor on the street, but maybe that's wishful thinking. But if I see one, I'm buying it, that's for sure. Here is how Cosmos scales to the previous rendition, which was called Legends and was the Legends one. But in my opinion, I just thought this was not the greatest figure in the world. I was happy to have a Cosmos at the time, but not happy with the outcome. Very pleased with what I'm doing here. This is one of the best figures. This might be the best figure they make all year. It might be like a sleeper hit, even though the character's not one that would command a lot of attention, but the fact that it looks so good in both modes too, the alt mode is just on point. So I'm actually very surprised that Hasbro's pulling this off as a $23 figure when, you know, Magic Square is going to charge $40 or $50 for theirs, and I don't even know if New Age has taken an attempt at this yet. And of course, Masterpiece is going to charge you $100 plus. So anyhow, good looking figure. So we got the new core class versus the old core class. So I had to kind of put this picture together myself. Now somebody's got it in hand and compared it, and I like that. Now I do want to say that there's good for the new and good for the old, and then bad for the new and bad for the old. So overall, it looks good. It looks good. Maybe not great, and definitely nowhere near on the level of how good they do with their Cosmos, but Wheelie looks pretty okay overall. So let's see the alt mode comparison. Now, I want to get out of the way. I think the one in the middle, sort of to the right, I think that one is from an upgrade kit, I believe, and I did not get that upgrade kit. I was going to, but I didn't. But anyhow, looking at all of this, on the left is the previous two versions, and one was the US release, one was the Japanese release. Then on the very right is this one coming out right now. So in the core class, or core class, is that what they call it? Yeah, for $10, or now 12 at Walmart. If you go to Walmart, like 12. So anyhow, that's the way it looks. It looks pretty good. So there's talks of a Studio Series Ironhide, which would change the game on Ironhide. I mean, we've got the Siege mold, then they reworked that into like an Earthrise mold, and all that was good. That was great. Okay, but not perfect. And I had my own issues with them, but I kind of feel like at retail we're only going to go so far, right? With what's going to show up at Walmart and all that kind of stuff. But an Amazon listing found a Voyager class Studio Series 86, and I don't know if they're going to rework what's already gone or do something completely different, but I kind of feel like they're going to do something completely different because they could do better than they did, and I'd like to see what they do. We got more pictures that are better of this 2-pack here, the Heroes Born, which is fantastic. It's an amazing 2-pack. I hope that they manufacture enough that we can all get it, and this is going to be at PulseCon, and that's coming up in 2 months, by the way. So As soon as I find out these are available for order, I'll make some noise about it. But I'm definitely gonna have to get one for sure. This looks fantastic. Here's a close-up of Orion Pax, and yeah, he looks pretty good. I think this is the absolute best rework of Cup, and I've said that last week, but this is a much better picture thanks to this Toys Walker, and it says YouTube, so I might have to look this person up on YouTube and give them a look, because great pictures and just really coming through for the community there. Fantastic. Okay, and here is the Vector Sigma, key to Vector Sigma, and they plug it in there, and there it goes. It's got a key. It's already plugged in. It's a cool little item to put up on your shelf. I'd throw that in my masterpiece shelf. I mean, there's a lot about this that I'd put in my masterpiece shelf, and a lot of people disagree with me, but I wouldn't mind just sticking this guy just like this off in the corner on a masterpiece shelf in the back, and he looks that good, and it would fit in the background. In the foreground, you have your more detailed, perfection-looking figures. Have this dude in the back, but still, he looks great. I would put him on par with any of those third parties they were making too. So we've got a third-party company, SND08, the one Generations Scale IDW Optimus Prime. Now this thing is going to scale with your Generations / Chug / the stuff that you're buying from Hasbro right now at Walmart or Target, well, anywhere. And the thing about it is that it is a stylized take, with IDW take on an Optimus Prime, and it would sort of work with your collection if you are a mainline collector. And it's got 30 points of articulation, 4 interchangeable hands, 2 swords and a blaster, and expected release by December. So it's cool looking. It's more articulated than probably what we get with the mainline, but here it is next to the Ironhide. We were just talking about Ironhide, and then now looking at this thing, and then looking at the Ironhide, like, we do need a Studio Series Ironhide, right? We need a better Ironhide. Although the one they made was pretty good, it's not great, and they could do better. Anyway, here's this Optimus Prime in the alt mode, and so it's not going for G1, but it would fit in, and kind of makes me wonder if they're going to go this far with this. Are they going to go the G1 route down the road? Are they going to stick IDW? Who knows? It's pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see reviews on this. Okay, so we got an in-hand picture of the premium finish PF SSO5 Optimus Prime in-hand images. The thing about this premium version, this premium, is to re-release the old mold that has gotten maybe expensive, hard to get, and so yes, it's helping out the fans, right? Well, it's helping out them because they already have the mold, and they're just making it the same with a little bit extra paint in certain areas. Now, there's more like battle damage here and there and that kind of stuff, but the one on the right is the premium. The one on the left is the standard, according to the pictures that I'm looking at. Now, I don't have this figure in either version, but I do think it's kind of cool that you can get a shot at the original, but you're not just reissuing the original, and I kind of feel like that's the way this stuff should go. If you're going to reissue the original, something especially if it's this old and it has been a long time, make it a little bit different, and maybe it's a little special, maybe it's a little better, maybe the original is still a little bit better, who knows, but they are charging a premium price point. Alright, so some stuff that is starting to show up around the world, around these parts here. We're getting to see the Buzzworthy Bumblebee and the Pterosaur and all these kinds of things starting to show up. So I think this is in Singapore, and there's also some other stuff showing up in New Zealand and Malaysia. But the thing about this is I'm already seeing some of these like cut out of this set, like the Gold Bug and stuff, put up on eBay for sale. So you can already get some of these. So I think that's really what collectors are going to have to do. Collectors are really just going to have to buy this set for as expensive it is and pick what you want out of it and then sell off the rest. And I guess that's how it's going to have to work for these kinds of sets, because personally I'm only interested in one item in this, but I mean, you have to buy the whole thing, right? Hey, look at Pterosaur in the back there. Speaking of Pterosaur, we got Pterosaur starting to show up. I believe this is in the U.S., and so it's kind of cool, this Beast Force thing. It seems like a lot of it's going to clearance, but it's cool that it's happening, and for those who really like the vintage Beast Force figures, they deserve this. They deserve this opportunity to kind of get to relive those 90s. That'd be a whole lot of fun. Relive 96, 7, 8, whatever, how many years those were out. Also, the Velocitron Speedia 500 collection, we're starting to get this override showing up, so that's kind of cool there. Look at that price sticker. It's a clearance on Beast Wars. I'm not surprised. Pretty cool shot of the case breakdown. Somebody got lucky enough to snag up a case of these while it was getting opened, and And they get that to grab their one. So which one's packed like 3 in there? So because I hear there's only one Cosmos, so in the empty slot, who's getting packed in there thirds? But still, this is what the box looks like. Pretty cool. So PulseCon is going to be going on from the 30th to October 1st, September 30th to October. So pretty much 2 months from now. And with that, there's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to be dialed into. So that's how we're going to find out when exactly we get to order stuff like Serpentor, and when we get to order stuff like that 2-pack that has Alpha Trion in it. So all that kind of stuff right there is going to be going on during this PulseCon. So it's a big deal, but they're also going to be revealing Indiana Jones. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on this PulseCon. And this is one of those things that I don't think Hasbro really came out swinging at SDCC. They had one SDCC big surprise, a couple of small little things that they were showing. They're saving all of their big stuff for PulseCon. They're going to do that every year. They're going to have a little something for SDCC, but the big stuff's going to be hitting hard after PulseCon. Alright, so getting into other news, Ramen Toy has it's their Thunderhawk. They actually call it Red Gullwing, and this is another render picture showing that they had taken the prototype, and of course they're making changes to it to make it perfect, exactly what they want it to do, and then they're going to make another prototype and all that kind of stuff. So they're working on this, and it's just continually working on the project, which is fantastic. And then so here we go with the wings open. A different angle right here is this digital render. And yes, it's mostly in digital render phase. And why? And I said, why are you showing me more digital renders when you already had a prototype? And they said, well, because the prototype wasn't exactly what we wanted. So we went back to the drawing board and are tweaking a few things. And then we're going to make it perfect. So make it exactly what we want, which is fantastic. That is fantastic. Put a lot of time, effort, and work and money into making sure this is good. So early bird pre-order is $117 when this goes up for pre-order. So actually, I better check their site. It might be up for pre-order right now. It says it's pre-order today. So this is fantastic. Fantastic looking. I'm like, hey, I already have one of these in the Kenner. Let me just skip and get the stuff that I don't have. But this is going to be so good, I don't want to pass on it. So their Quicksilver and Tallyhawk is shipping right now. So mine's shipping on the way. As soon as I get it, I'm going to review it. I look forward to reviewing this. I'm very excited for this figure. And I'm not so much excited about this figure. I'm excited about dialing out about 12 of these on a shelf and looking fantastic. Get the original cast made in modern, just like this. That will be fantastic. And I also think these will blend well with what Super 7 is doing. So all that stuff I'm looking forward to. But, note one thing. That Super 7 didn't show any Silverhawks at SDCC. No Silverhawks at all. They haven't shown any Silverhawks. Not anything about Silverhawks. So I'm starting to be curious what's going on with their Silverhawks. They're further along with Joe, but where's their Silverhawks? By the way, while Ramen Toy is delivering Quicksilver. So, G.I. Joe Classified. Here is a cool looking render. TNI Toys News. TNI News. Toy News International had some pictures up here. And I think they got it from some sort of Instagram account or something. But really cool that this is... I don't know if these digitally were rendered by Hasbro. Somebody else did this. So these look pretty cool, though. Exciting. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to keep my hopes up, my excitement up for the Classified. But after that whole retro debacle, we'll talk about that in a second. So stay positive. Torpedo looks fantastic. And I do like Torpedo. I like Torpedo better than like the eels and those kinds of things. And so I think it's just his colors, all that stuff looks really good. And he's pretty cool. Here is Rock and Roll. Rock and Roll. And he looks okay. I didn't realize Rock and Roll is that beefy. I mean, I don't know. I just think of all those straight arm first year figures as just being like whatever. In my mind, like I don't care about any of them for whatever reason. I have some of them, but again, I have no care. I kind of came after a little later in the Joe collecting, so I'm okay with picking them up, but I'm not really super excited. But I think they're doing a really good job. I mean, they're really doing a good job on that figure. But I really do like this one here, though. Copperhead looks fantastic, and I start to wonder, you know what? Here's the weird part. Copperhead, his vehicle's not that big. So they could make his vehicle. They could actually put it at retail, but it'd probably be a $300 HasLab if they went ahead and made his vehicle and all that kind of stuff. But still, he looks good. He's got these guns and all these straps and holsters and all that kind of stuff. Fantastic looking overall. And then, of course, we have fan favorite Shipwreck, the biggest goof off in all of G.I. Joe. That's probably a lot of fun. This makes it look super serious though, and he's got his parrot and all that kind of stuff. So looking really good overall. Like all of the inclusions that you had, like with the original toy and all that. And I'm sure once they truly do the coloring of him, he's gonna look fantastic. All right, so yesterday I made a video. I wasn't even gonna make a video, but I was so irritated and agitated about my card back showing up messed up, Destro's bubble smashed, and I gotta say the community is more or less, I don't want to say split. It's split like a 80-20. 80% of people that are furious that their stuff showed up like this. Almost everybody that's ordered these has had them show up, even if they show up in a box, with damage to them. Nobody says that, hey, all 4 of mine are perfect with no creases and no bubble damage or anything. Yes, even I got a couple of good ones, but I had to buy 2 to get 1 good one, and so that's how we do this stuff, I guess. But this is smashed. I love this, like this look and line. Watch my video though for more information on that. But I do want to say though, people that are upset that we're saying that we're disappointed in this, and you didn't order it. Like if you didn't order this and you're upset at me for being upset, that makes no sense. That's asinine. I mean, that's like me getting upset at somebody else who got one of their Sentinels and the knee had a problem, and I'm mad at them for complaining about their knee. It's the exact same thing. Alright, so Super 7 has their Thundercats up for pre-order. These are the toy colors, and okay, I want to go through a few things about this real quick. They're all $55 except for the Mumra, the Ever Living there, and Mumra is $75. So they're $55 for normal, $75 for Mumra, if I make sure I say that right. And the thing is that originally, Brian Flynn said they were all going to be $55, even Mumra. And either he misspoke or made a mistake, but I was shocked. So you get less stuff with Mumra than you did with the regular release. Less accessories, less stuff going on, and he's $15 more. I'm disappointed in that. I am very disappointed in that. I mean, am I not going to order it? Well, I don't know. I'm thinking about ordering it. I don't know. But I've got them all pre-ordered so far. I think Chitara looks great. I think they all look great. I think they look fantastic. If you are a fan of the toys, then you're a fan of these, and I see why they're doing it. Plus, they're also wanting to get another opportunity for you to get a Lino, because if you can't get a Lino, why do you want the rest of them, right? Speaking of another opportunity to get a Lino, this is really cool, though, because it's got a color change feature, so take him out in the sun, and he'll turn to kind of the normal colors. I would have actually liked that. Well, I guess that makes sense. I mean, and he's frozen inside. If you get out in the sun, he's going to melt. I guess that's the thought process on that one. So anyway, he does change colors and looks more like the normal skin tone, and then goes back to this. So that's kind of cool overall. And then, of course, the bat. Now, I did pre-order these. I went straight to the Super 7 site to pre-order them, so I'm hoping to get them faster. Same price. They're also up on BBTS right now, probably Entertainment Earth, and all of those places. So it's pretty cool. This is technically the first of Super 7's Ultimates G.I. Joes to be available. So in the aftermath of SDCC and what happened with Star Wars there, which it really wasn't a whole lot. I mean, I was just kind of like, what's new? More credit collection. So we have the credit collection Tusken Raider. Now, I'm not against something like this. I think that troop builders are something you'd want more than one of, and bring it back out again is fine. Especially if it looks a little bit different. But I really feel like this looks even more classic than the other one. But maybe that's just my feeling on it. But I actually think this is more classic looking from pretty much the very first 1977 film than we got with Mandalorian series. But yeah, this is GameStop. GameStop, go ahead and pre-order it. $28 to get a pre-order for this figure. Gosh, these are getting expensive. Target's going to have the credit collection for Ahsoka. So that's cool. There, this is the Ahsoka from the series. So this is not from the Mandalorian. So not Ahsoka from the cartoon. So all that kind of stuff. But still, I mean, they're all on this kick. It's kind of a kick to have an exclusive and a credit collection. And And I understand this to me is perfect for exclusive, something that not everybody's going to want, but some people might really, really want. Now, the one thing I really didn't talk about was pipeline reveals, and I gotta say, I was just kind of reeling with confusion of all the pipeline. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I still don't have it all sorted out, but I understand this. So the Retro Collection has a pipeline reveal of 6 Retro Collection figures with a Jedi Luke for Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary coming up next year, 1983 to 2023. So, and then we have the Bush Leia, and then we have the Han trench coat, and then Lando skiff guard, Emperor, and a Biker Scout. And let me tell you, I bet Biker Scout sells very, very well. But not a bad lineup. I'm not mad at it. Will we get a 40th anniversary in 1985 of the Power of the Force and get the coins? Okay, so we have 40th anniversary pipeline reveals. Now, this is for the Black Series, and the thing about these is they're going to be probably on the card backs, and hopefully you can get them not destroyed, looking like original cards, and that's my favorite. So, truthfully, out of All Stars Black Series, if I'd get rid of everything and just keep the ones that are on those card backs, because that's me, and that's kind of, I think, where I'm going to go with this collection. So I'm in on all of these if they have the card back. And so there's the Endor Leia, the Endor Han, we have the Lando skiff guard, and then we're going to have Scout Trooper and Wicket and all that kind of stuff. This is another opportunity to get Wicket outside of that 3-pack. And then we're going to have another Stormtrooper, of course, and then another Ewok. So is that other Ewok Wicket? Yeah, that's Wicket. And so this Ewok is, I don't know which one. I have no idea. And then Chewbacca, Bib Fortuna recarded onto that. And all these are recards, of course. And then, of course, Emperor again. They just put Emperor out. Right now he's available in stores in the archive. And so that's pretty cool. Now, then we're going to have this deluxe versions. And they say 40th Anniversary Deluxe. So I don't know how that's going to work. But we're going to have an Endor Rebel Trooper. And then we're going to have a Boba Fett. And so that Boba Fett's going to match the Return of the Jedi in that scene and all that kind of stuff exactly. So that sounds pretty cool. Lastly, we've got Ki-Adi-Mundi and then Mandalorian. And then I forgot what that Wookiee dressed up in the Mandalorian show is called. It doesn't really, I don't know. Chrysanthemum, something like that. So anyhow, these pipeline reveals are just more that are coming down the road. So are we going to get a real Chrysanthemum that's not just based off Chewbacca and he's actually bigger and bulkier and beefier? Who knows? But these are solid. Ki-Adi-Mundi, and like, why not go back and give all those prequel Jedis? I don't see why. I don't see why not. So we're all having that SDCC hangover week, and still a lot of stuff going on. Still a lot of news. Still a lot of stuff to talk about. Still fun and exciting in the toy world, and a little bit frustrating, but let me know what you think about this week's news. What else is going on out there that I missed? What cool stuff is going on that you know I'm going to like? Leave it in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Kadir Maker out.